Ser and estar are two verbs in Spanish which mean to be, which can get pretty confusing because in English we only have one verb which means to be. Those are ser and estar. We often find ourselves thinking, which one are we supposed to use? So here's a quick list of when you use ser and when you use estar. I like to think of it as ser is a lot of the permanent situations, whereas estar is normally the temporary situations. I'll show you what I mean by that. For ser, you'll use it for origin, so where someone is from. You'll use it for, say, the location of an event, which is kind of set in stone, permanent. You can use it for characteristics of a person. He is tall, she's pretty, that sort of stuff. You can use it for profession. He is a teacher, she's a doctor. You can also use it for the time or the date, which even though it doesn't sound like time is a fixed event, at that moment it is, it's permanent, so that's why we use it with ser, so time and date. Next we have estar, which as I mentioned is more of the temporary events. We can use this to describe someone's health. We can use it to describe the location of people or things, because those can move, so they're not as permanent. We use it when using the present participle, which is another verb tense. I'll put that down here. It's not normally what we deal with. We can also use it for emotions, since those can quickly change. We can also use it for telling the weather and for the state, mental state, a physical state, any of that sort of stuff. Kind of goes along with health. Now the important thing with ser and estar is that when using adjectives directly after them, they can mean different things. So here's a long list of adjectives that when used with ser mean something different than when they're used with estar. So we'll look at those now. So I'm going to make a list here of some of those adjectives that mean something different when you use it with ser or estar. Aburrida is the first. When used with ser, it means to be boring, to be a boring person, that sort of thing. So with ser, it's boring. Whereas with estar, it means to be bored in that moment. Our next adjective is listo. With ser, this means to be smart. Whereas with estar, it means to be ready. Again, this is the permanent characteristic. The person is smart. Whereas here it could be, it's temporary, the person's ready for the exam. We have the adjective rico, which with ser means to be rich, and with estar means to be delicious. So this is often used with nouns, food objects, that sort of thing. You can describe a dish or a dinner or something like that as being rico, and that would be a great compliment. That would mean that the dish was very pleasing and delicious. The next adjective is mala. With the ser, it means to be bad or evil, that sort of thing. With estar, it means to be ill. Seguro. With ser, this means to be safe. Whereas with estar, it means to be sure or certain of something. We have verdes. With ser, it means to be green. So again, this is a permanent characteristic. that object, an apple or something is green, it will always be until it rots. With estar, it means to not be ripe. Vivo is our next one. With ser is means to be sharp. And with estar, it means to be living. And then our last one is libre, which here with ser, it means to be free. Whereas with estar, it means to be available. Or you can think of it as free at that time. So these are the lists of adjectives that you have to pay special attention to when using ser and estar with them. If you mix them up, it will be difficult to understand what you really mean. And as you can see, you could easily say, ella es aburrida, not meaning to say that she is boring, but instead that she is bored in this instant. And that can get you into a little bit of trouble. So just be sure to remember which ones are ser and which ones are estar. Hopefully this list will help you.